Good morning, Patriots Nation. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Finally, we have another Victory Monday to celebrate. It's been a minute since we've had one of these. I apologize for not covering the game yesterday, guys. This sinus infection I got has been kicking my ass. This is the first day I've felt good since probably Thursday. That's why I haven't really been calling a lot of these games. I haven't exactly been feeling too good at the moment, but hopefully now that this sinus infection is clearing itself up, uh, we will be able to get back to calling some games for you guys. What's up, still? But I'm finally feeling better. This whole weekend was not fun. Kind of felt like shit the whole weekend. But like I said, this sinus infection that I got is clearing itself up. So hopefully pretty soon here, my vocal cords will be back to normal and I won't sound like a frog. But another Victory Monday. So we'll take it. Victory Monday. The Patriots beat the Bills 29-25. And Mac Jones finally has a defining drive in his career. Uh, but realistically, for the entirety of the game, the kid was nails. I have zero things to complain about Mac Jones this game. I just have to say, where the hell was this version of him at the beginning of the season? I mean, I think a lot of us thought that the potential was there for him to be this good. It took a minute for him to, I don't know, reach down and grow a set of balls and maybe play like that. But like I said, I will give Mac Jones his flowers today. Because normally I'm a heavy critic of his. The kid just hasn't played well and hasn't realistically lived up to the hype that he is, in my opinion. But if we can get that kind of play out of the kid every week, this team I think will be okay. The problem is now Miami with that high-powered offense. We got to go out and do it again next week. But like I previously said, I can't complain too much about Mac today. He was given time. He was calm. He was cool, collected, smart with the football, and made some big throws and big moments when they needed it. Mac was good today. He was more than good. He was very good. I mean, the entire fourth quarter I think was very well played by Jones. But like I said, I have no complaints with Mac today. I just my only thing is we need to see that kind of play consistently. And if we can do that, if Mac can do that on a consistent basis, the team will be fine. I mean, I've been a heavy critic of Mac Jones. The skill set, he's always had the skill set to be successful in this league. He's always had it. He's always had the skill set to be successful, but he could never pull it together, and he just seemed like he was making really bad decisions with the football. But not Sunday. That was by far the best game of Mac's career, statistic wise, but not only statistic wise, but leadership wise. He he took the reins of this team and absolutely led them to victory. The kid put, the kid took the reins of and in the entire fourth quarter. We we asked him to go and win the game, and he did it. He he took the ball that last drive and just methodically brought it down the field, and with 12 seconds left, hit Gesicki on a perfect football in the end zone. Perfectly thrown ball. He had another really nice throw to uh, to Hunter Henry to set him up, and then Ramondre had a really nice run. That was just they actually ran the football well too. The offensive line picked a weird time to show up, but they actually showed up. We ran it fairly well against the Buffalo Bills. They looked good. Patriots looked good offensively for a change. They looked in rhythm. They looked like they had a plan. It was, you know, the plan against Buffalo was clearly run the football, and use the play action. Uh, use the play action to complement the run game, and it worked. It worked pretty good. We kept right with that team the whole game, and then Mac was given the opportunity to take the reins and lead a game-winning drive, and he did it flawlessly. Mac made about a dozen really nice, really tight window throws that we needed to have, and they were on target and they were delivered with some velocity and sometimes when you throw into a tight window, it can't be a floater. It has to be thrown in there with some velocity, and you just have to trust your receiver to catch it, to be able to catch it. And Mac was Mac was throwing hard today, or Sunday, I should say. Mac was throwing hard on Sunday. Those footballs weren't floated out there. They were thrown with a purpose, and that's nice to see. It was a nice change of pace from what we've been used to seeing over these last 5 games. It just the defense too. Defense came to play. They held Josh Allen in that Buffalo Bills offense and Stephon Diggs in check. Even as wounded and banged up as that defense was, they put up one hell of a fight right to the bitter end. It was like I said, it was a nice change of pace. It was a nice change of pace to see the team play together. Special teams as well. Special teams came in clutch when we needed them as well. All three phases of the game on Sunday, all three units played well, and they complemented each other, and they all lended a hand in the victory over the Bills. This is the type of football this team needs to consistently. This is the level of play that the Patriots need to consistently be at on a weekly basis, and this team will be fine. We just haven't been able to get it to get this type of play regularly. I think we've seen flashes of it with a quarter here and a quarter there, but never a full game. This was the first fully played, first snap to last snap game that the Patriots have had all season, where they didn't mentally check out. They were engaged the whole game. Everybody was engaged. The the offense and defense fed off of each other, and then the special teams they hit their, they performed well when they needed to too. It was the first full team win we've had all year, and they looked great. The team looked great. I just hope that they can build on what we saw. Hopefully, going down to Miami, they're going to ride that momentum and put up another good game against Miami. I'm hoping that's what happens. I hope that this was kind of a turning of the page moment where the team realizes that, yeah, we can compete with these teams. We can compete with Buffalo. Miami game earlier in the year was a one-score game. We can compete with those teams. But this was a good win. The team needed this. This team needed a victory like that to prove to themselves that they are better than what they've been playing. I think we all knew that. The biggest frustration for all of Pat's Nation was that they're better than what they're showing. They're better than what they are putting on the field, and they know it. We know it, and they know it. That they have way more to give. And it was just nice to see that they had finally figured some stuff out. The offense had a rhythm, and they had an identity today. Smash mouth football, and then you use the play action to your advantage. We hadn't seen that all year. An identity. The team's been searching for an identity all season, and they finally found it. Like I said, I hope that they can carry this over into Miami, and if we can play like this against the Dolphins, I think they're gonna. I think the Pats will be hard to beat. I've been a harsh critic of this team for most of the season. For most of the season. Mac was playing very lackluster football, making bad decisions, and I don't know what kind of version of Mac Jones we got on Sunday, but that needs to show up. That version of Mac Jones needs to show up on a weekly basis, and this team will be just fine. It's just nice to be celebrating a victory. We haven't had too many victory Mondays so far. Now I'm not gonna be one of those. I'm not gonna be one of those people that's just gonna say, "Oh, Robert," like no, like this. The team's got a long way to go. They have a long way to go. We got to get that consistency. We have to get some consistency. That was an excellent. That was an excellently. That was a excellently executed game plan. They 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 figured out what they wanted to do. They wanted to keep the football out of the Buffalo Bills offense's hands as much as possible, and they were going to take points whenever they could get them. And that's what they did. They Mac led long, sustained offensive drives, and kept that Buffalo Bills offense off the field. And even if they came up with three, it was still points, which is what they needed to do. Take the points that Buffalo was going to give you, and keep their offense off the field, and try and wear that defense out. And by the fourth quarter, Mac was able to kind of just do whatever he wanted. The final three drives, or two drives for the Pats. They that Bills defense, I think, was very tired. The final 6 minutes of that football game, you could tell that the defense was on its heels. Mac had wore them out. Mac and the Patriots offense had wore that defense out. And that's what they need to do. If they're going to win football games, they're going to have to tire the other team's defense out. It was just nice to see Mac make a lot of pre-snap make a lot of pre-snap reads, which you didn't really you didn't really see him doing for most of these other games. He he uh, he was disengaged and looked like he was just kind of going through the motions. But today, or Sunday, Mac was up at the line, and he was calling out the protection. You could see him visibly see him changing plays when he would read the defense. He was fully engaged and fully invested in that game, and you could visibly see a difference in his play. Footballs were coming out of his hand with a lot of spin, a lot of velocity, and they were getting to where they needed to be, and they were thrown on point. Mac didn't have a lot of off target throws on Sunday. He didn't. Most I would probably say seven out of every 10 of those throws were right where they needed to be. Excuse me, guys. Uh, like I said at the beginning of this stream, by far the best game of Mac's career. By far, leadership wise, and statistic wise, one of his better games, especially leadership wise. The final 8 minutes, 6 to 8 minutes of that football game, you could visibly see him how engaged he was, talking to his offensive linemen, talking to his receivers, talking to the defensive guys. What they are seeing, what they are seeing. You could see Mac was a leader on Sunday. Mac was finally a leader on the team on Sunday. And that's what we need to see from him. We need to see this kid take this team and lead them. No, 100%, lady. He finally had a game where he was responsible with the football, and his decision making was actually really good. Which, I mean, I'm sure a lot of Patriot fans didn't see what the end result of that game was coming. I certainly didn't. They looked phenomenal, offensively, defensively, special teams. All three phases looked phenomenal. They There wasn't a lot of stupid mistakes on the offensive line. They gave Mac Jones time to throw. Mac, once again, pre-snap reads were great, and then the accuracy and the velocity on the football was there for Mac Jones. So it was it was by far the best team win of the season, and they needed that. If they lost that game, they would have been in big trouble. They would have been in big trouble if they had lost that game. I mean, now the biggest question is what do they do with that momentum that they just built? What do they do with that momentum they just built up from this win? I'm hoping that they can carry it over. Oh, I'm always up early, A bomb. I'm up at 4 a.m. every morning, bro. 3:45, 3:30, 4 o'clock every morning. But that was just a good team win. You know how it is, A bomb. You get up that early, you get that first cup of coffee, you get some breakfast, you get some breakfast, and then you go start your day, man. My day starts about 4:45 in the morning. I'm up about 3:30, 3:45, so I can get up, stretch out, get that first cup of coffee in me, and then get in the truck and get the truck started, warmed up. You know how it goes. It's a routine. But that was just nice to see. That was a lot of Patriot fans needed that, because I think even though we've been harsh critics of the team, and I've been a harsh critic of the team all year, they have not lived up to the hype. They have not played up to their potential. They were well deserving of. They were well deserving of criticism. This team was playing way worse than what they are. It was just nice to see the Patriots finally put together all three phase game where they all contributed in a win. This was nice to see. There you go, A-Bomb. I hear you, dude. But the challenge is not going to stop, man. We got Miami next week. That team is averaging 34 plus points a game. A little over 34 points a game are the Miami Dolphins. Now, I think they got exposed a little bit yesterday, but I do think Miami's beatable. I think that we're going to have plenty of momentum, plenty of mom, plenty moment, plenty momentum to beat that Miami team. I think we're going to have enough carry. Hopefully this win will carry over. I don't know. I mean, I hope so. I hope the team has taken a look at this and been like, well, yeah, we can compete with these good teams. We just did it. We just beat the Buffalo Bills, and we were neck and neck with them the whole game. The consistency is realistically, for Patriots fans, the consistency of the team, the consistency of Mac Jones, the consistency of the coaching decisions, that's what's been our biggest gripe. The consistency. There hasn't been any. But Sunday, they were solid. They were solid through and through, all three phases of the game. That was a team win. That was their first team win of the season, and it was a big one. That was a big game. They needed that one, and it's going to be the same scenario next week when they roll into Miami. Patriots historically have not played well in Miami. They struggled down there. So this is going to be a nice little test for them, how well they can deal with some adversity back to back, because they historically they do not play well in Miami. That stadium and that city are not kind to the Patriots. They struggle down there. So hopefully we can use this win as a nice little confidence boost to help us get another one down there. And then after Miami, we kind of roll into a softer spot in the schedule. So if we can somehow squeak out a win down there in Miami, we get two back-to-back games that are absolutely winnable games as well. So that could completely change the outcome of the season. If we can squeak out a win down in Miami, even if it's ugly, I will take an ugly win down there because historically the Patriots have really struggled down there. So if we can pull out some kind of ugly win where it's maybe by a field goal, I will absolutely take that. And when we can roll into the softer part of our schedule with two wins under our belts, and we're going to face the Commanders and the Colts back to back, I believe, and then we have I think the Broncos are in there towards the end of the season as well. So hopefully this team can stack a few wins together. They're probably not going to beat Kansas City, and then we will see what the end of the schedule looks like with the Jets. But there's some wins in there to be had, so it'll be interesting to see how they end their season. I'm hoping they can end on a high note. Maybe build some momentum going into next year. But if they finish with 6 wins, if they finish with 6 or 7 wins, they're probably going to be picking, I don't know, maybe ninth or 10th, something like that. So you can probably forget about Drake May or Caleb Williams if that's the case. If you're picking, especially if you're picking between 8 and 10, you're definitely not getting either one of those two. So If that's the case, I would want the best offensive tackle I could get my hands on because we're going to have to start planning for the future with that. But that's how I would build it. If I'm not going to get Drake May or Caleb Williams, I would go after the best offensive tackle I could get my hands on, or the best edge rusher on defense to help Christian Barmore and Matt Judon and Devon Gotcha out and Dietrich Weiss to help that defensive front out. I would go with an edge rusher, but that's just me. But I do think the Patriots are going to be able, if they play like that, they're probably going to end this season with somewhere around 6 or 7 wins. If that's how they play, if we see that Patriots team play for the rest of the year, I'm talking about the one we saw on Sunday. If that's what we get for the remainder of the season, this team will probably end the year with 6 or 7 wins. But the big question is if they can do it. Can they be consistent? Can we see that team week in and week out? If we do, I think they're going to end the season on a high note, and I think we're going to get to see some piled up wins. If they can't, we're going to go back to the team that we saw before. But I just wanted to come on here, guys, and just say, like, happy Victory Monday. It feels good to say that. Feels good to say that for a change. Like I said, we haven't got to experience that for a minute. But what a win. What a game for Mac. What a game for the defense. Just special teams in there as well, making kicks when we needed them to. It was a good team win. And it feels good to win, man. Feels good to win. Now we just got to focus on Miami, on to, like Bill always says, on to the next one. On to Miami. We're on to Miami. We're going to focus on them and hopefully get that W again next week. But thanks again, guys. Thanks for everybody for popping in. A-Bomb, Leedy, Still, Nathan, thanks again, guys. Much appreciated. Y'all have a good day. Go Pats. And I will see you on the next one. Hopefully we're going to start calling games. Hopefully this sinus infection that I got is not going to be kicking my ass anymore. And I'll be able to get behind the mic again for you guys. But thanks again for listening. And we will catch you on the next one. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. And I'm out of here. Everybody have a good one. Peace.